and goes and gets closer, it refreshes our mind. It just brings some things back to memory that sometimes, going through the season, we get complacent and we forget about. And also, it helps us get on the same track. And me being in training, that's one thing I want to say too. That's good for training. The training is not only for the new people, it's for everybody. I mean, I would love to have some help. I mean, for some of you veteran guys, people that's been officiating a long time, it helps when you have people that know what they're doing, that can get out on the floor for a few minutes and show some of these new guys what they should be doing. While some are working, some can get on the side and work with them. That'll be real helpful. Plus, also, I don't know if y'all remember Calvin saying, he was a clinician at this clinic, and he learned some stuff. It's nothing new that he learned. It just refreshed his memory. Same thing with us. It just refreshes your memory and gets you ready to start the season. Gets us all on the same page. So, enough on that. Points of emphasis. Same as always. Nothing different. Count closely guarded situations. Closely guarded situations mean we got a legal guard position within 6 feet as a defender. You got 12 seconds that you can stand there with the basketball. You can catch it, you can hold it for 4, you can dribble for 4, you can pick it up again and hold it for 4 seconds. Now with that being said, we got our count, we're going. On each change of count, whether it's picked up or held, we should be switching hands. Switching our hands on our count. Now with that being said, multiple defenders. Just because I'm defending and my partner comes and defends and I now go away, long as that second defender comes and maintains that 6 foot distance, that count should continue. Everybody kind of got that? That count still should continue. And I think that's a big deal, a big point of emphasis, because I know the defense, you got kids out there, they're playing their butt off. They're defending. They're there. We're hurting them if we're not helping them with that count, if they're legally there. We're hurting them. So now guess what? We're giving the offense an advantage. And we're supposed to be clean slate across the board. So what it says, well officiated, closely guarded situations provide for better balance between the offense and the defense. The NFHS Basketball Rules Committee is encouraging special attention to the following areas. The rules basics, what I just went over, closely guarded situations. When a player in control of the ball of his or her team's front court is guarded by an opponent who is within 6 feet of the player who is holding or dribbling the ball, the defensive player must obtain a legal guarding position. A player should not hold the ball for 5 seconds or dribble the ball for 5 seconds while closely guarded in the front court. A player can legally hold the ball while closely guarded for 4 seconds, dribble for 4 seconds, and hold the ball again for 4 seconds. Multiple defenders. The closely guarded count should continue even if there is a defensive switch, provided the 6 foot distance is maintained by 1 or more defenders. There is no requirement for the defender to remain the same during the count as long as the offensive player is closely guarded throughout. The closely guarded count ends when no defensive player is within 6 feet. Everybody got that? Any questions? In case anybody don't know what 6 foot is, the center circle where you jump ball at. That kind of gives you, that's 6 feet from tip to tip. So that kind of gives you an idea of what 6 foot is. A lot of times and I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes a player might not quite be 6 feet. For some reason, we want them to get 3 feet or we want them to get in their jump. Well, that's not what the rule says. The rule says 6 feet from foot to foot. As long as he got that, he's in a legal guard position, we should have a count going. I'm guilty of that too. A lot of times they'll be there defending. We'll do like this. They'll do like that. They're within 6 feet. Still, we'll do like that. Ask them to get close.
You don't call closely guarded, the guy is just giving you some token hand
By rule, if he's, I just read you the rule. By rule, if he's within 6 feet,
Toe to toe.
toe to toe, if he's within 6 feet, toe to toe, he's in a legal guarding position. We should have a count. That's just what the rule said, by rule. I just read it. Anybody else?
If he's behind him, then there's no 6 feet.
He's not in a legal guard position. He's got to be in front.
Or beside him.
He's got to be in front. 2 feet in front, legal guard position.
6 feet in front.
6 feet. Right now, I'm not guarding Carl. I ain't in a legal guard position.
So if he turns his back on him momentarily, that we wipe it there?
No. Got to maintain a legal guarding position first. If you're in the post, usually that's going to happen when the back down to the back. That might happen in the post. And if I'm legally guarding him in the post, which I don't think usually on the post we never have 5 seconds, hardly ever. But if he's standing on the block and he's got the ball and he's being legally guarded for 5 seconds, yeah, we should have a 5-second count. We should.
Even though his back was not toe to toe in that situation.
Toe-to-toe established.
Yeah, but you still.
Did you have a 3-second violation before a 5-second?
Thank you, that's what happened.
Well, I'm trying to know when we stop this on the drive. When we
Head and shoulders past
On
the
the
defender.
drive, once head and shoulders get passed, head and shoulders gets passed, count ends.
Okay.
But if they're just running side to side and around the circle with that person guarding, that's a legal count.
Unless he gets head and shoulders passed. If he gets head and shoulders passed, stop counts. I'm gonna take one more question on this and we're gonna move forward.
I might have missed, you said that 6 feet is the center jump circle, right?
No, half of
It's
it's 5 feet.
of it.
Half of it's 5 feet.
It's not the whole circle, it's from the division
Half of
line.
it's 5 feet.
It's the little circle, I'm sorry, it's the little circle in between.
Or another-
It's the-
another
I'm sorry,
circle
yep.
Is the top of the 3-point line
Circle
to
10.
the free throw line.
It's 10, right? Is that 5?
From half to the edge.
Yeah,
I'm
from
sorry, I
half to
meant
the
from
edge.
half of the circle. It's 6 foot, I'm sorry. Half of the
to the
circle.
It's 6 foot?
Yep, thank you for that.
I can't see.
Just like from the free throw line to the tip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
It's
right.
half and half.
See, we have these questions. That's why if we all come to training, it'll all get us on the same page. It'll help us all out. Next point of emphasis. Different degrees of contact above the shoulders. I know a lot of times when we're defending, we're first taught to referee the defense. We got to first referee the defense and make sure that that defense is legal. I know myself personally, I feel as officials, we are missing a lot of fouls that occur on jump shots. Because we're taught to watch the defender. And we're always watching that defender. So when that offensive player goes up to take that jump shot, a lot of times we miss this and we miss that because we're watching the defender. But when that offensive player goes up to take that jump shot, we got to take a second to look at this. We got to get a peek at that because we miss that a lot. I miss it. We all miss it. We miss that. So that's what they mean by taking a look above the shoulders. A lot of times players go in the same thing on layups. They go in, we watch the defenders. We're missing that contact that happens above the shoulders. A lot of time hits in the head. They're going up to lay a layup. Yeah, they might miss him across the arm, but in an attempt to block the shot, they come across, boom, and they whack him in the head. Those are plays that we're missing. With a continued emphasis on reducing concussions and decreasing excessive contact situations, the NFHS Basketball Rules Committee determined that more guidance is needed for penalizing contact above the shoulders. A player should not swing his or her arms or elbows even without contacting an opponent. Excessive swinging of the elbows occurs when arms and elbows are swung about while using the shoulders as pivots. and the speed of the extended arms and elbows is in excess of the rest of the body as it rotates on the hips or on the pivot foot, it is a violation of Rule 913-1. Examples of illegal contact above the shoulders and resulting penalties are: contact with the stationary elbow may be incidental or a common foul. An elbow in movement but not excessive should be an intentional foul. A moving elbow that is excessive can be either an intentional foul or flagrant personal foul. So with that being said, I get a rebound, which it happens in the post all the time. I get a rebound. A lot of coaches tell them, get your elbows up. A lot of coaches tell them to get their elbows up. If the referees won't call it, get them up, clear your space. So they get them up, and now they get the and they're this. Soon as we get this, boop, we gotta have a violation. Unless contact is made, it's not a foul, we should have a violation. And if we start calling that more consistently, the more they'll stop to do it. They'll stop doing it. They'll stop doing it. But we don't call it enough. So it continues to happen. So it goes, now he's swinging. He catches somebody. Now we got all hell done broke loose. He hit me with an elbow. Now he want to retaliate. Then we got to throw ticks and all that stuff. But if we clean it up from the beginning, we don't have to worry about it. Yes, sir.
What about the fact when they first come down with the rebound, the guys, the defensive players are slapping them on the arms, and we're not calling that?
Well, we should call it.
That's the problem, because they let that go.
We should call it.
So the offensive man tries to get them off them. And then
Yep.
we call the foul on the offensive man.
I agree. We should call it. We should call it. And that brings up a good point that you said. It's all about holding each other accountable. As officials, man, when we're out there, we have to hold each other accountable. You know, that's when we officiate, and that's why it's important to have a pregame. It's important to talk at halftime, and it's important to talk and have a postgame. Because these are things that we talk about. And you know, it's not to belittle anybody, not to degrade anybody or things like, because we all miss stuff. We all do. Don't no one in here call a perfect game.
Beg your pardon?
You said that.
That every night in my dreams.
Don't nobody call a perfect game. So that's the importance, especially of post game, to talk about those plays where we might have missed something. Because sometimes we don't have great looks, but my partner might have had a great look, but my partner followed the rules of officiating by trusting you as an official, and he didn't reach in your lap and take something, unless it's obvious. So therefore, when you come back in for post-game or halftime, hey, Carl, remember when 99 got that rebound, and he caught 23 with an elbow? Hey, man, I had them players in there slapping him on his arms first, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why he hit him with that elbow. Carl shouldn't take that personally. Thanks, man. I'll take a closer look at that next time. No, that's the reason for post games, and that's the reason for talking. It's not to belittle or pick somebody out because you missed something or because you didn't get something. It's so that we can all get on the same page, and it's going to help us when we go back out second half, or it might help you in your next game. It gives you, you know, so we know what's going on. Post game is not to belittle anybody or to degrade anybody. And also when we have post game, we shouldn't be going at somebody. It's a way to talk to somebody and a way to bring something across. We don't want to belittle anybody. We don't want to belittle anybody when we talk about something. You know, so those things are important, guys. You know, a lot of times I know when I miss a call, I know I missed that call. So when I miss that call, I don't need somebody jumping down my throat because I missed it. Help me understand why I missed it. That should be the purpose of it. Help me understand why I missed it. So that next time I can be in a better position, or next time I won't miss it. That should be the purpose of it.
Hey, on that, back to when you was talking about fouling the shooter, there's still a lot of people that's not understanding. Once that shooter's back on the ground, shot gone, he's not a shooter anymore. And when they getting fouled, they still get them the N1 with the shot. And
Yep.
Gavin told them over and over and over, if the feet back to the ground, it's a different foul.
Yep, that's true. And that all goes back to my saying was, if not only the people that need it, if we all come to training, we'll start getting that stuff. It all goes back to that. You know, we all referee, we all know what's going on, but let's just be realistic. Sometimes we need to be refreshed. We need to be refreshed. And sometimes, I mean, just being honest, we wait until the season starts in order to pick up our books, in order to get in our books, and in order to start watching plays. So therefore, when that game goes, a lot of times we're not ready to officiate. That's just being honest. We're not ready. So when those things happen, it takes us 3 or 4 or 5 games to get back in the swing, to pick it up. And it's also to that thing of holding each other accountable. You know, if your partner calls that, you know what I'm saying, you should love and care for your partner enough as an official that you're going to tell him, hey man, you know, you get a halftime, hey, I had him coming back down on the floor on that, you know, we probably shouldn't have shot that. Or even when he calls and he gives him, well, if he calls and he says he's shooting, actually, you know what, Quentin? If you was my partner, and I know you enough and I've worked with you well enough, and you have that player coming up and coming back to the ground and getting fouled, and you say you going to the line and shooting 2, I'm going to come over to you and I'm going to give you some information. Hey, Quentin, I think he was back on the ground, man, when you called that foul. I really feel that should be out of bounds. Now, it's up for you to take that information and make your call, but I'm going to give you some information and some help.
Right.
That's where we hold each other. Yes, sir, Mr. Archie.
When you go to your partner, don't go with, I think. Go with your 125%. If you got any doubt, let your partner have the call and stay there.
Yep, don't take
True.
it to them.
10-4.
But hey, one of the things that I was working with a guy, a veteran official, right? And I gave the guy the foul back on the floor as a non-shooter. The coach went berserk. Everybody in the gym, he was shooting, he get a foul.
You know what?
Guess what? The official came up to me and said, hey man, when you ain't getting, I said, you was back on the floor, you wasn't shooting. Well, just to make it look good, since everybody don't know and realize, just give him a shot next time. I said, nah, you need to teach them the rules, and you need to understand the rules and do it like it's supposed to be done.
There you go.
If I'm the only one in the gym that know, then I'm the only one that's right.
Your partner should know. You should have your back on that.
Yeah, I had one, they thought that was.
It's not about pleasing the crowd. That's what I'm sorry.
I mean, as officials, y'all should know 50% gonna like your call, and 50% ain't gonna like your call. So you in a lose-lose or win-win, however you want to look at it. Non-basketball acts that are intentional. That's something we have to clean up also. It happens. If you got an intentional foul, call it. Non-basketball acts. I mean, all of us here, we officiate. A lot of us been here officiating long enough that we've seen it. We know when it happens. Man, I really don't want to call that because now it's going to slow down the game. We got to shoot 2 fouls until however it may be, you know, towards the end of the game. It might be against a team that's getting beat by 30, 40 points, you know, but we got to call it. We got to call it. Yes, sir.
Well, I think a lot of times when we don't call that, it's because a lot of us don't know how to administrate it either.
Good point.
The intentional foul?
We need to know how to administer.
Good point. I think we talked about this.
We talked about this
a couple weeks ago.
A few weeks. I think the first 3 meetings we talked about it. We can go over it again now for people that don't know. How do you administer an intentional foul? I'm going up to the basket and I make a layup and a defensive player pushes me from behind. Didn't play the ball. It's an intentional foul. How do you administer that?
Ball go in?
Ball goes in. Ball went in.
Ball goes in.
The ball at the point in front.
All right,
Thank you.
hold on. What you got, Mr. Renee?
I said that it carries its own foul. The
It's on
intentional foul is
penalty.
two shots and the ball at the point of infraction.
Spot of the
Correct.
foul.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, they called that one time and the coach, he said, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, it carries
Well, there's a
on.
lot of things coaches don't
He said, I
know.
appreciate you telling me that.
Yeah.
Don't know.
They don't
Coaches,
know.
coaches have no
They don't
clue
know.
about anything. That's why.
Point of infraction or point of interruption where the ball is.
No, not
Where the
point of
foul
interruption.
occurred, where the foul occurred.
Just
Spot closest to where the foul
yeah, closest to
occurred.
where the foul occurred on intentional
Not where the
foul.
ball is.
Yep.
Where the foul occurred.
Where the foul occurred.
Yeah, because yeah, intentional could be off ball.
Yep. Therefore, I can have a person going for a layup, and outside the 3-point line, I just shove my guy. Intentional foul. We're gonna shoot 2 shots, and the ball should be taken out of bounds that side where it happened on the sideline, not where the ball is, where the foul occurred. That's all I have.
Explain to them the ball should be taken out of the POI, point of interruption.
When you have a double technical foul
A double foul, period.
or double fouls, period, is when the ball should be taken from the point of interruption.
At where the ball was located at that point, because it could be a double
I
foul
mean,
on
if
2
you got a
players
double foul,
off ball.
double technical foul,
Huh? The ball can be anywhere on the court, but if you call a double foul, it's not where the spot of the foul is that you bring the ball. The ball is point of interruption where the ball was located when the foul was called. That's the only time you have that, is a double foul.
Inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle.
Huh?
Inadvertent whistle change the point.
Well, of course, point of interruption on the, and only person has inadvertent whistles around me that I know of is not here tonight. Okay?
but guys, like I say, I'm done. That's all I got for you.
I got some things I forgot to go over real quick, because I got 2 people here,